Brilliance Audio presents Fighting Forward, your nitty-gritty guide to beating the lies that hold you back, by Hannah Brencher, performed by Janet Metzger and the author.
Just show up. It may be time for you to just start, to not waste any more moments, to not wait on perfection, but to just get up from the floor with wobbly knees and start moving imperfectly into that thing that fear is always trying to hold you back from. I can't even begin to count the number of people I meet who have a goal, a vision of who they want to become that they never move toward because they're too afraid of failing. They're afraid of what people will think. They're afraid of not being successful in the end and inevitably breaking their own heart. The thing is, more hearts break every day over never taking that first step than anything else. I think most of us feel this fear. Somewhere in our younger years, we learned to carry this expectation that we'd be exceptional, we'd be good, we'd do all the right things, we'd be perfect. Maybe you learn to tell yourself, if perfection isn't a realistic expectation, I will just get as close to perfect as possible. And these words you spoke over yourself cracked open the back door just wide enough for fear to get in. Soon enough, you became someone who writes but never presses publish, or someone who buys the running shoes but never takes the first run, a person who always wanted to paint but never picked up the brush, or the one who wanted to go back to school but whose internal dialogue prevented them from ever filling out the application. This is what fear will do if we opt for perfection over choosing to start just as we are in this moment. There are no shortcuts. There are no overnight fixes. There are no detours. The instruction manual for deep change is the same every single day. Show up, show up, show up. You've probably heard that phrase a bunch. People say it all the time. But this isn't a call for you to show up when things are easy and convenient. If you wait on convenience, the time will likely never be right. There's no way to cut corners on the hard parts of life that really help to form the person you're becoming. Trust me, you don't want to skip those parts, as hard as they will be to endure. The tough conversations, the endless goodbye, the thank you she never extended in your direction, the way it sounded when the front door closed, and you knew it was really, definitely over. These things likely would have never happened if you hadn't shown up. And sometimes they'll hurt so bad, you'll be tempted to not show up again, to keep your heart locked up inside a safe where only you know the combination. But you'll miss so much if you live that way. Even if life breaks your heart, decide to show up anyway. Because the scars are worth the purpose you fought for. They're proof you were here. They're proof you struggled and you believed in something. They're proof you laced up your shoes and entered the game with your whole heart. I read a book recently titled Atomic Habits in the hope it would change everything about my life. That's just how I operate. I believe I am always a 30-day plan away from a completely new landscape. I'm a transformation junkie, and I have no hopes of recovering. The book did change some things, though. My favorite story was about a man who decided he wanted to take back his life and lose weight. He began going to the gym every single day. But that's just it. That's all he did for the first few months. He would walk inside the gym, put on his gear, and sit in the gym. That was the only promise he made to himself. I'm going to show up to this gym and at least sit here for the next 5 minutes. For the first month, he didn't allow himself to do anything else. Day after day, the method repeated itself until he felt ready to stay a little longer and inch a little bit further outside his comfort zone. Some may think it's ineffective and pointless to even drive to the gym, sit on a bench for a few minutes and head back home, but I know the feeling, and you probably do too, of making a promise to yourself that you could not keep. It's not because the promise was bad, whether it was to eat healthier or write the book or go back to school. Sometimes the promise is just too unrealistic for where you're currently at. It must be broken up into bits, and the first bit is always showing